things are starting to close in around Kim Kardashian, and not in a quiet way either. Just days after a UK driver was sentenced for moving nearly $9 million worth of nose candy hidden inside a SKIMS shipment, insiders started whispering something way bigger, that the FBI could be preparing to hit Kim's mansion at any moment. And yeah, the comparisons being made? They're straight out of the Sean Combs playbook. Now on the surface, it might sound like internet chaos. But the deeper you go, the harder it is to ignore the pattern. Because when you rewind the timeline and really look at how Kim's empire was built, some of it doesn't just raise eyebrows. It raises serious questions. We're talking old accusations tied to missing money involving Brandy Norwood, rumored connections to people with criminal pasts, repeated claims of misleading customers, and whispers about complex financial setups that some believe were designed to move money quietly. And that's just what's already surfaced. But here's where it escalates. Ray J has now stepped in again, and according to what he's been saying, federal eyes aren't just watching, they're closing in. He claims both Kim and Kris Jenner could be facing something much bigger, possible RICO-level attention. And if even a fraction of these allegations start lining up, then what seemed unthinkable a few months ago suddenly doesn't feel so far-fetched anymore. Because at that point, a raid wouldn't shock anyone. In fact, some are already saying it's not a matter of if, but when. And if that moment comes, it might look very familiar.
Betting on you.
Yeah.
If I was at the races, I would bet on...
It looks like this is where things take a sharper turn, because insiders are starting to connect dots that didn't seem connected before. Not long ago, Ray J came out with a claim that didn't just raise eyebrows, it shifted the entire narrative. He suggested he's been quietly assisting federal authorities behind the scenes, allegedly helping them piece together something much bigger involving Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner. And according to what he's been hinting at, this isn't some minor inquiry. It looks like what's being built could fall under a RICO-level investigation, the kind that doesn't just target one incident, but an entire pattern. The kind that pulls in years of activity, connections, and financial trails that most people never even notice. But here's the part that's really making people pause. Ray J didn't just mention a case, he implied scale. He suggested that whatever is coming could be even more explosive than what we've already seen unfold around Sean Combs. And if that comparison holds even a little weight, then this may not just be another headline. It could be the beginning of something much bigger, something that doesn't stay behind closed doors for long. Because once that kind of process starts, it doesn't just fade away. It builds.
This is coming. It's nothing I can do about it. It's worse than Diddy. Federal RICO I'm about to drop on Kris and Kim. It's about to be crazy. Anybody know Kim and cool with Kim? They need to tell her now. The rain is coming. The feds is coming. It's worse than Diddy.
Let's be real for a second. Ray J doesn't exactly have the cleanest reputation, and most people don't take everything he says at face value. But this time, insiders are saying there might be more behind it. Because what a lot of people missed is that Kim Kardashian has already been questioned by federal authorities before more than once. The first time traces back to her connection with Joe Low, a Malaysian figure who's been on Interpol's radar since 2016 over a massive multi-billion-dollar scandal. According to documents that surfaced in 2023, Kim wasn't just loosely connected. Reports suggest she was spending time around him during his peak, when money was flowing fast and questions were already starting to build. Back then, Joe Low was moving through elite circles like it was nothing, showing up with names like Paris Hilton, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jamie Foxx, and right there in that mix, Kim herself. Sources claim he was known for handing out large amounts of cash, sometimes in ways that didn't exactly follow the usual rules. And if even part of that is accurate, it adds another layer to a story that's already starting to feel a lot bigger than people expected.
In 2009, a mystery man appeared out of nowhere on the New York City club scene. His spending became the stuff of legends as he racked up eye-popping bills of hundreds of thousands of dollars. He continued to rack up massive tabs in Vegas, Ibiza, and London. He was popping bottles with Usher, hanging with Paris Hilton, and spotted multiple times with none other than Leonardo DiCaprio. He would go on to finance the award-winning movie The Wolf of Wall Street to the tune of $100 million. But the questions kept piling up. Where was this international man of mystery getting all this money from? Well, it turns out that the Malaysian businessman wasn't so much a businessman, but a massive fraudster, one of the most successful of all time, by the name of Joe Low. Low had siphoned off $4.5 billion from the Malaysian government for his wild spending.
It gets deeper, because those same federal records don't just stop at one name. At one point, Joe Low was also linked to supermodel Miranda Kerr, and in 2017, she reportedly had to hand over more than $8 million in luxury jewelry to U.S. authorities after questions were raised about where it all came from. But here's where the focus shifts, because when you look at Kim Kardashian, the situation takes a turn that even insiders call hard to ignore. According to those same documents, agents questioned her about one very specific night in Las Vegas. And what came up wasn't a normal transaction, not a transfer, not a deal on paper, something far more unusual. The claim? That Joe Low handed over a literal bag of cash. Not metaphorically, an actual bag, filled with money he had just won gambling. And based on reports tied to that interview, Kim allegedly told investigators that this all traces back to an earlier moment, a night in 2009 that's now being looked at a lot more closely than anyone expected. She was at a casino in Las Vegas with Low and two, the Wolf of Wall Street producers, and they all played a card game in a private room until the early hours of the morning. Around 5 a.m., Kim reportedly wanted to call it a night. However, a friend told her that she should stay because he had heard stories of Low giving people chips at the end of the night. The FBI report stated that Kim decided to stay, and she proceeded to call out which bets to make. And since Low ended up winning big time, he gave Kim his chips as a thank you. And those chips turned out to be worth over $350,000. The FBI documents also revealed that Kim went to the casino counter to cash out, and she went home with a trash bag full of $100 bills. According to the report, Kim then put the trash bag full of cash in her carry-on bag and boarded a Southwest Airlines flight back to Los Angeles. But it doesn't stop there, because insiders say the connection didn't just fade out, it allegedly went further. Reports suggest Kim Kardashian grew close enough to Joe Low that more money started changing hands, another $100,000, then an extra $35,000 in cash. And what happened next only adds more questions. It's being said that the money was later used to move into luxury assets, including a white Ferrari that was eventually flipped before another high-end car was reportedly purchased under Kris Humphrey's name. Now here's where things get uncomfortable, because none of the official reports clearly explain why a man already under global scrutiny would be handing out large amounts of cash like that. And people watching closely are starting to ask the obvious question, was this really random generosity, or something else entirely? Online speculation has taken that question even further. Some believe there had to be some kind of exchange happening behind closed doors. Nothing proven, but enough whispers to keep the conversation alive. And then there are those pointing in another direction, suggesting that Kris Jenner may have been more involved than people think. Because if you look at past claims, including what Ray J has said before, it paints a picture that some are calling calculated rather than accidental. He's even alleged that major decisions were being guided behind the scenes, including moments that shaped Kim's public image in ways most people never realized. And if even part of that holds weight, then this story might not just be about money. It might be about control.
When you look at my signature and you look at her signature on my deliverables, it say tape number 1, tape number 2, and guess what? The third tape or the second they've been trying to play me on called Santa Barbara. Her mama made us go shoot it for safety. She watched the mother and said, hey, we're gonna go with the first one because the first one is better. It gives my daughter a better look than the second one that I made y'all go do.
And then there's another layer that's starting to raise even more eyebrows. Ray J has claimed that both Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner allegedly pushed things even further, going as far as forging his signature to finalize deals tied to those tapes. If that were ever proven, it wouldn't just be controversy, it would cross into something much more serious. But here's where it escalates again. Because more recently, Kim reportedly found herself back on federal radar, this time tied to financial questions that didn't just stay as rumors. In early 2026, her brand SKIMS settled a consumer investigation in New Jersey, with Kim agreeing to pay a $200,000 civil penalty over claims linked to how sales tax was handled on certain items between 2019 and 2024. And that wasn't an isolated moment. Back in 2022, she also agreed to pay $1.26 million to resolve issues with the SEC after failing to properly disclose a $250,000 payment connected to a crypto promotion. Two separate cases, both ending in payments to the government, both adding to a pattern critics say is getting harder to ignore. And now, right as all of that sits on record, another situation explodes into headlines, a driver caught moving nearly $9 million worth of illegal substances hidden inside a SKIMS shipment. No direct conclusions have been confirmed, but the timing? For a lot of people watching this unfold, it's raising a question they can't shake. How many coincidences are too many? And at this point, it looks like the line between coincidence and pattern is starting to blur. No one's saying Kim Kardashian knew exactly what was happening, and there's no confirmed claim that she's tied to anything like a cartel. But with allegation after allegation stacking up, insiders are starting to ask a different question. Are the feds just waiting for the right moment to make their move? Because from where a lot of people are watching, it doesn't feel random anymore. It feels like pressure building. Quietly. Slowly. Until it isn't quiet at all. Online, the conversation has already shifted. Some are pointing back to what Ray J said about a possible RICO case, something many dismissed at the time, but now, people are starting to revisit those words a little more seriously. Others are going even further, throwing out theories about deeper networks, hidden connections, and money trails that don't just stop at one headline. Nothing confirmed, but enough noise to keep the spotlight exactly where it is. And that's the real question now. Not just what's been said, but what's coming next. Do you think this is all just speculation getting out of control, or is there actually something bigger building behind the scenes? Could this situation really escalate the way some people are predicting? Let me know what you think, because if even part of this story turns out to be true, we might be looking at something that doesn't stay behind closed doors for much longer. Stay locked in, because this one feels like it's far from over.